Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we have the biggest Nintendo Switch 2 leak ever. So let's get into this right now. So in the last week, we have seen someone unbox it. We have it under lock and key at Target and a few other locations. Hopefully those people do not get fired for showing that off, or the Nintendo Ninja swiping down and, telling them you're blacklisted from ever showing any more pictures. I don't think that's going to happen because it's just a picture. But I've also seen people hold it in hand. Now, as you've been seeing on the screen, someone actually has turned it on. This is amazing. Everybody's like freaking out about it. Heck, even I have a little, one of those, this is so cool to see. Now, if you don't want to see this video, go away. If you wanted to see what happens on day one, you just go away. Because this is all, spoilers basically. This whole video is a spoiler. So in this video, you see him turn it on. You see him set up, everything you need, what country you're in, everything. Oh yeah, by the way, I'll have this linked at the end of the video so you guys can click on it. But the other thing you see that it is 120 hertz and it's in 4K for sure. So it wasn't just a rumor, it wasn't just hype. It's actually real. I know there's been people out there saying it's not true. It's not true. Well, it is true. And so is HDR on this too. Everything that Nintendo said was true. Now, I almost didn't make this video, guys, because in the last video I had, there's been people commenting, little hate comments on Nintendo, and I thought to myself, well, maybe I should just stop making these videos, and I decided, no, let's share some of these comments. So I've had comments saying that Nintendo thinks they're the only handheld console on the market. Now, I don't think that's what they meant. Maybe I'm not reading between the lines like everybody else is, but as we know, Nintendo Switch itself was a hybrid console, and the Nintendo Switch 2 is still a hybrid console. Maybe the in between the lines wasn't correct. Maybe people are taking it wrong, or maybe I'm taking it wrong. But either way, leave comments down below if you really feel that way. They also have said that, Nintendo Switch 2 is just an upgrade version of the Switch, and I will agree with that. I think this should have been called the Nintendo Switch Pro or even the Super Switch. Now, why do I say the Super Switch? Because I think it'd be cool to go retro with this and just call it the Super Switch. Think about it. Back in the day, we had the Nintendo and we had the Super Nintendo. And it was just an upgrade. We went from 8-bit to 16-bit. In this case, we went from 1080p to 4K. It's the same system. It even is backwards compatible with the original Switch games. Well, not all of them, some of them. And I got into that in another video saying give it like a year, and most likely 99.9% of those games will be backwards compatible. Now, the other thing is people are talking about a new Zelda game. Now, again, this is awesome. I love the idea of a new Zelda game, but we're getting one already. Now, I know it's not made by Nintendo. It's Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. Now, we're also getting Wind Waker HD in 4K, theoretically. Yes, it's online. You have to get an online account for it to play it. The online service isn't bad. I know they're going to keep upgrading it more because that's a GameCube, and people have been asking for GameCube for a while. Now, I did have an idea for a Nintendo Switch 2 Zelda game, and I think they should keep going with the Tears of the Kingdom Breath of the Wild map. I think that's awesome. I think what should happen, and it would just be like a quick 5-minute intro rebuild, or maybe even a 5-minute gameplay rebuild of the Temple of Time. Now, hear me out. People love Ocarina of Time, me included. I have played that game over and over again. Everything from the original N64 to the 3DS version, and even a computer game version of it. Love that game to death. But here's the thing. Now listen up, and Nintendo, if you're listening, fantastic. How about we rebuild the Temple of Time from Tears of the Kingdom, and we get that Master Sword into the Temple of Time stone, and let the door shut. And we start out as Kid Link in Tears of the Kingdom map, and get a little history, or maybe not even Kid Link, maybe Teen Link, and show the history of him and Zelda meeting for the first time, him being a knight in the Hyrule Castle before the whole Breath of the Wild. And you can go back and forth between Teen Link to 100-year-old Link, or 102-year-old, or whatever he would be now, and having the storyline go in between. And I don't know who the enemy would be, but it would still be Ganon in some sort or another, because that's who always is the enemy. Besides, what was that game? Oh yeah, Link's Awakening. He was still the enemy, but it was all an illusion. But anyways, that was my thought. Let's get a game that keeps you going back and forth in time, like Ocarina of Time. I love that game. It'd be cool to go back and forth because in most games today, Tears of the Kingdom in general, you get all these different masks. You can dress up as Link from Ocarina of Time or whatever game. You even have Majora's Mask in it. I mean, there was so much Easter eggs. Why don't we just fill it up and get back to the original Ocarina of Time without going back to Ocarina of Time? And we could even have a DLC for the new Zelda game that lets you play HD Ocarina of Time. Kind of one of those Easter eggs like we did in Animal Crossing or some of the other games that have come out. We could play the old Nintendo games. But this would be an Easter egg just for Ocarina of Time remake. It might be a DLC you might have to pay, but it would be cool. Now that's my thought. But again, you've been watching the video of this guy, and you probably have already seen the screens. But thanks for watching. If you like this type of video, please please like and subscribe. Man, I can't talk today. Please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell, and you'll probably like this video right here or this video that you've been watching with sound.